I present to you Eddie Malou.
Test, test. Is the audio coming out of the speakers? What about if I talk this way? Yeah? Sorry, I got like 3 mic thing going on here. It's yours. Thank you. Cool, guys. Who here knows who I am? Can you put your hands up? I've talked to most of you before. Great. No introductions needed. There's like 5 of you, so I'll give you a quick one. My name's Eddie Malouf. I run Ali's paid advertising, and I run a marketing agency as well. I have 120 employees. I scaled that up from 0, just myself 2 years ago. And it's because we know what we're doing. It's not because I'm really good at hiring people or spending money or wasting money. So today, I always put together like a really good presentation. Instead, I thought to myself, if I were to build a law firm from scratch today and had no legal experience, didn't matter. I just needed to market it, needed to generate multi-million dollars before the end of the year. If I started today, what would I do in my market? How would I take advantage of AI? What would I do if I sucked on camera and I wasn't good on camera? And I kind of went through for like 3 or 4 hours yesterday and kind of walked through everything that I would do step by step. We don't have time, obviously, for me to do everything, but I'm going to walk you through every little bit that we do. So I'm going to go bounce between me drawing on my tablet here, even to Ali's ad account. Will be as transparent as possible. This is March. We spent 114 grand on Facebook and Instagram ads. I'll show you exactly where most of our money is going, how you guys can do it too. If you've attended any of my past talks, you'll find there's a repeating pattern. Whatever I told you to do last time is exactly what we've been doing since the last time we talked. So that should be really interesting because I'm not just here giving you guys theories. I'm giving you guys stuff that we do for Ali. I consult tons of 8-figure law firms all over the country, and we're all kind of using the same strategies right now. Does that sound good for everyone? Great. Besides PI attorneys, what other kinds of lawyers are in the room? You guys can. Bankruptcy?
Probate and family.
Okay.
Property insurance, first party.
What was yours?
Property insurance.
Property insurance, malpractice? Workers' comp. Okay, that's called. Don't you guys classify like workers' comp under the PI umbrella, or is that considered separate? Okay, cool. Over there was someone?
Immigration.
Immigration, what's up, baby? How you doing? How's that Rolex? You wearing it today? If you guys don't know, Ernesto won a Rolex at the CEO lawyer. Bro, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. It's a long day. Enrique, I apologize, bro. Cool. So first steps first. I know I'm the ads guy, but I'm not just going to talk about ads. I'm going to walk through exactly what I do if I started from scratch today. So number one, can anyone guess what the first thing I would do is? Okay, so we're going to assume for this that I have a Facebook page, I have an Instagram, I have a website, and maybe I work out of a WeWork. I have an office, doesn't really matter. I'm operating as is with the basic functionality. What would be my next steps? Meta. Sorry? Get on Meta. Okay, and on Meta, we have a Meta account at this point. Okay, you guys already know who that is. I'll give you a hint. Look around the room. What are there a lot of in this room? Okay, besides lawyers, cameras? Video. Okay, who here, raise your hand if you have a full-time videographer on staff? Okay. 7, 8 people. You guys are the room of people who are showing up to figure out how to dominate social media. And there's only 8 of you in this room. Imagine in the total population. There's only 8 of you in this room who have full-time videographers. Okay? I have mine with me right here. I take him everywhere I go. I don't care if I'm flying to Las Vegas, first class, he's coming with me every time. Okay? Because that is what generates attention online at the end of the day. So first thing I would do, step number 1, is content, okay? I'd hire a full-time videographer. Now I'm gonna go into this a little bit more in depth. Who here uses ChatGPT or AI like on a regular daily basis in their business? Put your hands up high, let me just see. 10 people. How many of you guys make sure your team and employees use it on a daily basis? Put your hands up. 3, 4 of you guys. Okay, number 1 biggest mistake that you guys are making in your business right now is not enforcing AI and ChatGPT for your team, okay? I don't care if people are sending demand letters. I don't care if they're writing emails. I don't care what it is. I promise you there is a way that AI can shorten whatever workload they're doing by like 80%, okay? I have gone to the point where I do a monthly presentation with my team. This month, I've asked my team, to each department, I've broken them out into departments. I've said each of you need to submit the 5 most effective ways you're using ChatGPT or AI in your department, and then you have to present them to the team this upcoming Monday. So as of this Monday, besides my monthly presentation, we're going to have 40 different ways that our company uses AI and ChatGPT, and they're all teaching each other how to do it. And what I'm seeing is our hiring, our growth is staying consistent, but our rate of hiring is going down because our team is being so much more effective. Things that are taking them 8 hours to do is now taking them 30 minutes to do, okay? So step number 1, instead of hiring a really expensive content or SEO marketing agency, what I would do, because this is just the fastest ROI that I can get, is content. So there's 2 kinds of content. There's written and there's video, okay? Let's talk about written first. And again, I'm not the SEO guy. I'm just telling you, if I started a business, here's the fastest ROI that I would get. I would make infinite blog pages on my website with 0 effort and 0 time for myself. I would let AI do the whole entire thing, okay? And basically what I would do right out the gate is I would put myself as every single video on every law topic that is important that's being searched, and every single blog and written post on every topic that's ever being searched. So essentially what I would do, I would go online, I would go on Google, I'd figure out what are the things that are most searched on Google, Safari, and Bing, okay? This is very easy for you guys. What I would do first is I would go to Google, and I would figure out most searched legal questions. And I would obviously start with my industry, but I would not limit it to that, okay? You guys have to understand, in your buyer pool is everyone. If I'm the deal generator in the legal world, and I have if I only do PI, but I have tons of criminal leads, tons of business leads, tons of immigration leads, all this stuff, I promise you that will translate into more PI leads from those attorneys sending them back to me, okay? So my only goal is to just be indexed in as many places as possible. If everyone submits leads to me, and I am the distributor of all the leads to other attorneys, I can create relationships with these attorneys where I'm getting leads from them. All I need is 5, 10 cases per attorney per year, and I have a really good thriving business if I have 20, 30 attorneys doing so. So I'm not limiting myself to the space that I'm in. Let's say I'm in PI. I'm doing it all, but I'm starting with the PI questions first. So I'm going to Google, I'm figuring out what these questions are that people are asking, and I'm going to go to ChatGPT, and I'm going to ask it to write me blogs of at least 500 words on this topic, whatever each topic is, okay? And I'm gonna ask it to optimize it to rank high on my Google search engine. Is everyone with me on the same page right now? Yes? Okay. All this can be done with a virtual assistant, a VA, none of your time, okay? And the goal here is to take hundreds of questions that people are asking that are the most searched things on Google, Bing, whatever it is, indexing them specifically. Let's say I'm in Atlanta, for example's sake. I would say, what do I do in a car accident in Atlanta? What do I do in a car accident in Georgia? Well, all these things, I'm going to index all these keywords, and I'm going to put them as blogs on my website. And I'm going to do 0 effort because I'm just going to take an Excel spreadsheet of an export of all these questions. I'm going to upload them into ChatGPT, and I'm going to say, write me at least 500-word blog article that's great for SEO and indexed on Google for each of these. Are we all on the same page so far? Yes. Okay, great. Question?
My understanding was that Google knows if ChatGPT has written your blogs.
You are almost correct, but not correct, and I'll show you. That's a great question because the answer is coming next. Then, what I would do is I would use a software called Surfer SEO. Surfer SEO is an AI platform for SEO, and you'll basically take all these blog posts, not you, whoever it is, your virtual assistant doing it, you're going to upload them into here, and it's going to reorganize the entire thing to not be detected by AI, number 1. Number 2, it's going to organize it to be as SEO friendly as possible. So even though we put it in ChatGPT, we told it to use all these keywords, etc., that doesn't mean Google is crawling it the same exact way, right? Google has a certain way of doing it based on where your headlines are, what your subheadlines are, where the keywords are placed, etc. Surfer SEO will basically rank you how far you are on that SEO platform, and it'll tell you all the changes it can do. 1 click, it'll change them all. It'll make it as SEO friendly as possible. Are we on the same page? Yep. So far we're like, if we were to do it for 1 blog, not like hundreds at the same time, we're probably like 5 minutes into work at this point, okay? We have a full blog, something that would have cost another company hundreds of dollars to do for us, taking us minutes, okay? If you do this in bulk, it might take your assistant 1 whole day to do 500, 1,000 articles all at once. Cool? Then I'm gonna assume that I suck at video. I'm going to assume that I have no clue what I'm doing. I have a face for radio, as some might say, and I just hate being on camera, and it's just not part of my business plan, okay? I would hope that all of you guys would want to be on camera because I think it's the most valuable ROI for your business. But for this sake, I'm going to give you an example if I was good on camera and if I wasn't good on camera. Cool? All right, if I was not good on camera, I would take these exact blogs, okay? I'll just put here, sorry if my handwriting sucks. I should have been a doctor, but I quit halfway through. The handwriting stuck, unfortunately. If I suck at video, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these same blogs that ChatGPT wrote. I'm going to ask them to turn it into a YouTube script. Yep. You can tell it, hey, I want it to be, between 2 and 3 minutes. And I'll give you guys the key for those of you that don't use ChatGPT often. What makes it super powerful is the boxes that you draw around it, okay? I can go to any team member and say, hey, give me 15 headlines about personal injury for social media ads, okay? And they can come up with it. Sure, it'll take some time. It might be better than ChatGPT. Great. But if I go to them and I say, hey, give me 15 headlines for social media for personal injury and make sure they're less than 30 characters each, their head's going to be spinning for hours because they're going to write it. It's going to be 32 characters. They're going to sit there. They're going to try to figure out how to remove a letter, an apostrophe, change a word to shorten it. It's going to be a disaster because, example, Google only lets me put 30 characters. But what makes ChatGPT and AI sick is I can give it these parameters and it's going to work inside of them. So that is how you need to operate. Anytime you give it any instruction, you need to be as specific with length, time, tone, everything as possible. So if you want to be a really witty attorney, and that's the personality that you want to have, witty, funny, clever, you know what I mean, then that's what you're going to tell it to do, and you're going to tell it to make me a YouTube script 2 to 3 minutes long if someone was reading it. Are we on the same page? Then, this is where it gets really fun. You're going to go to 2 softwares. You can pick which one you want. 2 AI softwares. One of them is called Descript. Has anyone used Descript before? Nice, dude. I like you back there. What's your name?
Dave,
Dave, what do you do?
I'm an attorney.
Obviously. What kind of attorney?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for participating, man. I appreciate that. Number 1 is Descript. If you don't know what Descript is, there's a million things it does. For example, we in our team, just to let you guys know, this is probably the best ROI you can get. We plug in all our short clips into Descript, and literally in seconds, it gives us captions on all of it. You can pick any fonts you want. It can highlight every word as you're reading it. I'm sure you guys know who Alex Ramosi is at this point. Like, you can make captions just like his. You can change whatever font in a second. You can literally shoot 20 videos, go in there, put it in there, and in 5 minutes, your entire team has them all edited. They don't need to sit there and figure out everything. My team still prefers to use Premiere because they like to edit a certain way and we're doing certain graphics. But from a very basic functionality level of editing and not having to pay someone else to do it and make typos and all these other things, in seconds, it's all done. But the other thing you can do that's really cool is you can upload your voice to it. And you can create an AI voice clone of yourself. The software that I prefer is called 11 Labs for this. So I'm going to give you guys 2 options here. So basically, let me give you an example of what we've done. So in our sales process, I'm kind of like the face of the company and the ads and things like that. A lot of people come and they want to talk to Eddie, or they want Eddie to look at their business before they do a final payment and contract sign, etc. So what my sales team does is they take the audits that they've done with their team already, and they've already presented this data to the client some way, shape, or form, but they still just want Eddie to look at it and check off on it. I've uploaded like hours of my voice into the software, and it speaks exactly like me. I've even done an Instagram video, if you scroll back on my page, maybe like 30, 40 videos, where I'm speaking to the camera, and it's not me talking, it's the AI talking the whole time. And then I stop talking, and it's still talking. You know what I mean? Because it's that good. You actually can't tell the difference. My own followers who watch my content every single day can't tell the difference, okay? So what my sales team does is they go in there, and they'll type all the things that they got from the audit. Hey man, what's up? Went through your business. Massive opportunities here. Just want to personally send you a voice note. Boom, 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 boom. Here's all the areas we think we can improve. Here's where we can see ROI coming in. Super excited to work together. Sent. 2-minute voice note from Eddie Malouf. I don't even know who this person is. I've never looked at their business. They cannot tell the difference. They can literally get on my Instagram, watch a video, play the voice note, and they can't tell there's a difference. Okay? So if you suck on camera, What you're going to do is you're going to take all these. So step one, we're going to make the blogs. Now we're indexed in SEO, right? So if someone's searching on Google, over time we're moving up the ranks because we have blogs that are SEO optimized for every single question possible. Guys, I'm still day one of opening my law firm. I haven't even got to the evening yet. I haven't eaten dinner with my wife. I have 500 articles of every single question I want on the internet, all SEO optimized for my law firm. I don't need to sit here and wait for content writers to figure this out anymore. Those times are gone, okay? Number two, why don't I do the same exact thing for YouTube? So if I suck on video, I'm gonna make a voice in 11 Labs, and I'm gonna have it be me. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a software. There's a lot of different softwares like this, but one that you could use is called Doodle Maker. So this is an AI whiteboard drawing tool. I'll upload all those YouTube scripts into that tool, and it'll draw me a video live of exactly what I'm explaining. So if I'm explaining like the 3 things that are important to do after a car accident, this video will take my scripts, it will turn them into a whiteboard video in minutes, and I'm gonna upload that same script to 11 Labs. Okay, so Doodle Maker plus 11 Labs. And I'm gonna make a YouTube video on that topic with the exact question that people are searching for, with a whiteboard video explaining exactly the answer that they want the best way possible, with my voice on it as well, okay? So everything is me all the way through. I'm still on day one. I have 500 blogs with the 500 most searched questions, and I have 500 YouTube videos for each of those blogs I can put on those pages, and I'm indexed as well on YouTube. Are we all on the same page? Is everyone following me? Is anyone lost? Any questions? Is this helpful or is this a waste of your time? Awesome, great, cool. So that immediately by day one, assuming I do this all in one day, which is very, very doable, I've basically taken over SEO on YouTube, on Google for everything that I want people searching for me for, okay? I've applied 0 effort into it, 0% of my time. I don't have to sit here and thinking of topics. It's already done for me. I don't need a video editor for this. I'm using all AI tools. I don't need to sit there recording 500 videos. It's all recorded for me. You guys get the point so far. For acquisition of leads, I would only do 2 things. So if I wanted to acquire leads in today's world, because I like to think that people's attention span is absolutely awful today, more than ever. On TikTok more than Instagram, on Instagram more than YouTube. There's levels to this. Obviously, YouTube's the highest level of attention, then Instagram and Facebook, and then TikTok. Even on my posts that get hundreds of thousands of views, I'll go to TikTok and like 100% of the comments are like super negative and like just atrocious. I'm like, man, people are like way dumber than I thought. And then I'll go to Instagram and it's like 50-50. And then I'll go to YouTube and it's usually closer to like more people who are like, oh, I agree with this, or this is awesome, this is super helpful. So there's levels to that. But the only thing that's common is everyone's attention is super low. So there's only 2 ways I would ever acquire leads, and it would not be my website if I had to start today. One would be DMing me. I would have a team of setters whose only job is to take people's DMs based on what keywords they sent me, and then put them through a flow. Example, someone that you can hack that does this well, Ali has one that's good. We haven't even added to it in years either. Law by Mike, if you guys know him as well, he has one that's good. I do some stuff for him. If you want to go in, you can hack, but basically all it is just a messaging platform, and it asks you like, hey, tell me about your problem based on whatever keywords they use. It'll funnel them into a whole sequence. Great. If it's a car accident, when did the car accident happen? You know what I mean? Were you injured? Was there anyone else with you? Great. What's the best number to text you at? Our team's gonna shoot you a message. And then I would just have setters in here, and everything I'd be doing, everything I'm about to show you, is all just to get people to message me as many times as possible. Not only does the platform see that, and they're like, wow, look how much engagement this person's getting behind the scenes. Like, I promise you, if we have equal profiles, Instagram is smart enough to understand I have 1,000 messages a day, you have 10 messages a day. I promise you they're gonna show my stuff to more people because they understand on the back end, they are staying on the platform longer, they're engaging with me personally, and I'm not moving them off platform, so they're gonna lift my stuff up automatically. So that is the number one way I would do it. Number 2 is short quizzes / calculators. So Who was at the last summit here in Atlanta, the smaller one? Okay, cool. You guys remember that quiz I showed you guys? How many of you guys actually are running ads to a quiz like that right now? Come on, 2? Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Ali. Well, yeah, Ali spends 6 figures a month on that quiz still, okay, since that day. And you guys paid for this information. I showed you everything. I made you guys build it live. Think about it. I literally sat you guys down and made sure you left that room with that quiz working, active, and live. And only 2 of you are still running it, guys. So if I were to acquire leads, this is the 2 ways I would do it. I wouldn't send them to the website. It's too boring. It's too slow for what people are used to on social media right now. That is not, they want quick, they want fast, they want engagement. And the coolest part is if they message me, I can always message them back. They're always there. If someone goes to my website and just leaves, they're gone. If someone goes to my website, opens the chat with a team, and doesn't give them the contact info, they're gone. That's the end of the chat. If someone goes, types a whole form on the website and is like, I'm going to do this, and then just something happens. Their cat meows, she's stuck in the door, boom, done. Whole conversion's over. But if they message me, all they have to say is hi, or accident, or auto, or hello, you know what I mean? I can forever message them back. I have a whole team there. They can follow up with them. They can do whatever they need to. That is a permanent lead that I have in my business. And if you're using softwares like ManyChat is the one that I like to use. Ali uses MobileMonkey. These are chatbot softwares. If you use these, they'll save that person's data so you can always broadcast to them. So for example, let's just say I have thousands of people in Atlanta who have messaged me. They'll message me, and I will forever have them saved in ManyChat. And whenever I want, I can send a push message to them. So example, hey guys, I'm giving away 2 tickets to the Hawks game tonight. Boom. One message, I can send it, 10,000 people open it. All I need you to do is just share it on your social media. I can have 1,000 of them instantly, 99.9% open rates because it's going to their Instagram, it's going to their Facebook Messenger, answering me right there on the spot. Okay, I wouldn't sit here and focus on trying to capture leads on my website if I can just go where everyone is spending their time, which is social media. I went to a conference last week, and I had people open up their phones and show screen time. And I'm telling you, professionals, 8-figure business owners, 7-figure business owners, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours on their phone, 2 of them on Instagram, 3 of them on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. Like, people are spending their time there, no matter if they're high quality people, if they're low quality people. At the end of the day, that's where they're spending their time. So I need to build a system that works around them, that meets them there. Are we on the same page still? Yes? Is this actionable? Yep. Yes? Only one person? I appreciate you. Hope you do something with it. Cool. Next. If I was to make personal brand content right now, and again, guys, between all my clients, we probably see organic impressions at this point. I want to say probably 500, 600 million a month, maybe more. Definitely more, sorry. I'm just thinking about like 5 or 6 clients combined. Let's say 1 billion impressions a month on organic. I will tell you right now, on organic and on paid ads, all the ads that are working the best, the things that are getting the most people's attention is podcast clips, okay, across the board. I don't care what I'm selling. I could be selling PI stuff, or I could be selling milk. I kid you not, we're selling a vegan milk for a client. It's a multi-$100 million launch product, all this stuff. They paid every content agency in the world to make content, including us. We made the sickest videos, all this stuff, UGC stuff, interview stuff, cool like graphic type stuff, nothing, okay? No one bought the shit. We made a podcast clip of the person talking about what it is that's in the milk, etc. Literally 6 times return on the dollar. Thousands of dollars spent every single day, 6 times return, podcast clip. I can go on and on and on. Hair loss brands, attorneys, accountants, everything in between. Podcast clips is what's working. So what I would do if I did have a face for video, not for radio, and not really just a face, just me being comfortable with it. Because I know a lot of you guys, like, quite frankly, you say you want to do video and you want to do content, and then none of you do it. I've had attorneys pay me $25K a month to consult them, and I tell them I need videos, and we'll spend 4 months and they won't give me a single video because they just can't do it for some reason, even though it's what drives the most money. So I've given you solution number 1, which is if I don't want to get on camera, I can just have AI do all this stuff for me, use my voice, and I can SEO index everything. If I was to do it myself, all I would do is just create podcast clips. This is the highest ROI of my time. And I would do 2 things. So number 1, I would invite local guests who have followings in my area who are subject matter experts on their topics, okay? So for example, someone who's really good at commercial real estate, I would bring him into my podcast and I would talk commercial real estate for hours. I would even bring other attorneys who are doing other things. So for example, if I'm a PI attorney, I'm probably not gonna invite other PI attorneys, but I'm gonna invite immigration lawyers, for example. I'm gonna have the best immigration lawyer with the best following I can find in my area come on my podcast, and we're gonna make clips, okay? And the purpose is the clips are gonna go on my social media, and I'm gonna show you an AI software that just does it all for you, okay? You're gonna make an entire podcast, film for 2 hours. You're gonna walk away. You're not gonna have a video editor. And by the next day, the entire podcast is gonna be edited, and you're gonna have cut clips of every single piece of clip that you've done on your podcast, and you can post them on your social media. Are we on the same page still? Am I getting too much for you guys? No. We're cool? All right, cool. So let's talk podcast real quick. Couple keys that are important. You're looking off camera, I've noticed, is a very strong key. Like it just gives a more expert feel when the camera's here and I look like I'm talking to someone else as opposed to talking directly to the camera. We've tested the same video, talking to the camera, talking to someone else 10 times more than me sitting here talking to the camera, okay? People just assume it's organic, people assume it's natural, and that is the game that I would want to play if I was starting a law firm right now. So create an in-person podcast studio, invite cool guests, use the podcast AI software. Let me tell you exactly what it's called right now. The software is called Autopod. This will cut the entire podcast. If you have multiple angles, someone's talking, then someone else is talking, it'll switch between them, it'll do everything you need to do, and this thing will be done literally within an hour of the time that you're done shooting it, okay? Then number 2, this is for the long form. Number 2, I would use content fries, is what it's called. This is for short clips. So basically you can take any long clip you want. For example, let's say this talk. I'll take this talk, hour and a half, I'll throw it into content fries. It'll find all the clips from beginning to end that are finite clips that they think that it can cut, and it'll cut them all together. So I don't need to sit here and like worry about my VA editor not knowing what's a good clip and what's not a good clip. These softwares are gonna do it for me in seconds. And now I have ads that I can run. I have organic content that I can run on social media and Reels. And I also have YouTube long form clips, okay? So I'm trying to maximize as much of my time as possible. Now I know for years, Ali has been preaching this down everyone's throats, and some of you guys have done it and some of you haven't. And Ali continues to be one of the best at posting organic I've ever seen. But this makes it kind of inexcusable for you to make any excuses. Before, like, sure, I had to get a podcast studio, and then I have to have like my editor, and then I have to kind of manage him because he's not doing his job, and then I have to make sure the clips are right because they're not, and you're going back and forth a million times to get something. Now there's no excuses. All you have to do is just get on the mic, talk to someone else, have really high-level, sick conversations that people want to listen to. It'll clip everything. Even if you pull 2 clips out of every podcast, that is a lot of viewership that you're getting at the end of the day. And how I measure viewership, I talked about this last time, is called CPMs. So this is called cost per mille, which is basically cost per 1,000 impressions. This is how I measure, man, my handwriting and writing is so bad. This is how I basically measure my value of content. So for example, I just had a clip that got me 300,000 views, okay? If I were to run ads, my average CPM, or cost per 1,000 impressions, let's say is $60. So 60 times 300, anyone know the math, was that 18 grand? This video is equivalent to $18,000 of ad spend of my own money without spending any money because of the organic reach that it's gotten. And if you were talking to me 2 years ago, I would tell you don't focus on organic because the reach is low. You're talking to me right now, I'm telling you the reach is high. I'm telling you there's a straight world war between all these platforms. Everyone wants the most views. They want to push your content as much as possible. They want you addicted to the notifications, of the likes, of the comments. They want people to see your stuff more than ever, okay? TikTok came in, they made organic back to where it was 5 years ago. Instagram, Facebook pages, YouTube Shorts, everyone started panicking. They said we need to be able to capture this level of attention because we understand that it's all about the creators. Whoever's making the content, if they're getting views, if they're getting likes, if they're getting conversions, they're going to keep making more content. So we need to push as much of that as possible, and that is the game right now. So $18,000 of ad spend on one video. Does this whole CPM metric make sense to everyone? Can I just get a yes from the room? Yes. Awesome, cool. Cool. So now I have long form clips. I have short form clips that I can use as ads. I'm building my presence on the page. I'm telling you, I'm still like, day 4, day 5 at this point, if I filmed a couple podcasts with some people. By day 5 of opening up my new law firm, I have hundreds of ads. I have hundreds of clips for my social media that I'm going to post every single day that is going to generate me viewership. I'm basically telling everyone in my bio, DM me the word auto or injured if you've been injured in anything, in a car accident, whatever. They're all DMing me as they see me. And now I'm generating lead flow as it is. But I'm assuming I'm not. I'm going to keep going for what I would start doing next. Then I would take all these clips that I'm doing. Let's see. Short clips. I would take all these clips that I'm doing, and I would look at my analytics every month, and I would see which 5 perform the best. And I'll tell you what I look for. It's not for comments. It's not for likes, quite frankly. It's for shares and saves, okay? It's for like the quiet stuff that no one wants to talk about. It's, I'll give you an example. This clip that I'm talking about, I basically talked about like having to let go of an employee, and then I had to set the tone with my company, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what it's at, 400,000 views right now. Every day, I get 400 followers from this clip. Every single day for the last like week, 400, 400, 400, every single day from this clip. If you read the comments, it's all toxicity. I would never want to work for this tyrant, blah, 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 everyone, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments. But every day I see 15, 20 people sharing it, and it's those people that I really care about. It's the ones who are sharing my stuff and saving my stuff are the ones I want to engage with, because a lot of high-level people don't even want to comment on stuff. They just want to participate from behind the scenes. They want to watch. They want to share stuff with their group chat, share stuff on their story that's valuable content, and then save it for later and then never look at it, okay? Those are the 2 metrics I really care about. So I'm going to go through my stuff. I'm going to find the top 5 monthly that have saves and shares. And I'll tell you this, if something works on one platform, it'll work on all of them. So every one of my clips that has hundreds of thousands of views on Instagram, has hundreds of thousands on TikTok, has hundreds of thousands on YouTube. Everyone that has 10K on Instagram has 500 on YouTube, 500 on TikTok. It is what it is. All social media is the same. If one thing hits, I promise you it's going to hit everywhere you're going to use it, okay? So I'm going to take the top 5 monthly, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put $500 behind each one, boosting it from my phone. Everyone know how to do that? Ollie's taught a million trainings on this. I'm sure there's recordings if you guys are in the academy, but you can just boost this from your phone. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to target people who are in my area, okay? I'm going to target just a radius around my area, and I'm going to constantly keep targeting that same exact radius. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to retarget those people. But $500 on each one, and I would split it up as $50 times 10 days is how I would spread it out. So this is going to total us $2,500 a month. I'm going to show you how I'm going to spend all my budget right now monthly on paid stuff. So this is $2,500 monthly. Then I would create one retargeting audience. Okay. I'll show you how to do that here later, so you guys can do the same. Retargeting audience. And I'm going to run, I'll tell you exactly what to do. I'm going to run $3,000 a month to my retargeting audience, okay? Now, let me kind of break down what's happening, I guess, in a visual here, and then I'll come back to this. So let's just say I'm targeting people, okay? This is Atlanta. And I target people in pockets, right? My $500 per post is going to people. My organic's going to people. Here's the total pool of people in Atlanta, okay? I targeted some here. I targeted some here, some here, some here, some here. Okay, these are all the pools of people in Atlanta that Facebook and Instagram has reached, okay? Now, in this game, I'm competing with people who have a billboard on every corner. They own every bus. They own every television commercial, every radio commercial. They've been marketing for years. So what I've noticed, especially in PI, is it's a game of frequency. It's not a game of direct conversion. If I can get 1 million people to see me 15 times, I always say this in every session I've done with you guys, I'd rather have 1 million people see me 15 times than 15 million people see me once, okay? It's just a much better business. It's how you actually build loyalty. It's how you build a following. It's how you build referrals, not from clients, but from people who don't even work with you, okay? So basically what I would do is I would take all these, pools of people that I've targeted, and I'll show you exactly how. So basically, anyone, I'll list them out. Anyone that's engaged on my Instagram and Facebook, anyone that's messaged, Facebook, or Instagram, Facebook, anyone that's watched any ad or post on Instagram and Facebook in the last 60 days. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to take all these people and move them into their own pool of people that know me. And I'm going to take all my best posts that I'm telling you guys to boost, and I'm going to keep running them over and over and over and over to these people for $3,000 a month. And every month, I'm going to keep the budget the same, but I'm going to add more posts in there so these people see new content. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the group of people from all my ads that have watched, engaged, anything. I know there's some level of interest. They know who I am. They've watched a few seconds at the very least. They know my face. I'm going to put them all in one big pool, and I'm going to keep refreshing my best content every single month at a low budget to this pool. Because for $3,000 of someone that I already know exactly who I'm targeting, like own data, someone who's watched my video, someone who's visited my website, etc., I'm going to get a lot more out of it than targeting $3,000 to people who I don't know. Okay? We on the same page? Yes. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to make this audience into Ads Manager, but I'm going to just show you kind of the entire plan, and then I'll show you exactly how to do it. So $3,000 on retargeting. Let's see. 1/3 of my posts, this is really big on Instagram, as you can tell from Ali's page. 1/3 of my posts are going to be questions or like trivia. Example, who's at fault in this accident? Is this legal or is this illegal? Things like that. Things that are just fun, that allow people to comment. But the incentive here is I'm going to give one winner $100 every time. One of the people that guesses the right question in my comments, I'm going to give them $100 every time. Okay? If I do this 1 out of 3 posts and I post daily, it's going to cost me only $1,000 a month. To get people in my city commenting as quickly as possible to give the correct answer on whatever post it is, automatically from that engagement, Instagram's going to pull it to the top. And if I want, I'll require them to share it on their story, and that's what gets them entered to $100. And every 3 days, I'll give away $100. If you guys haven't seen all these videos, he goes to a car show once a month, Caffeine and Octane here in Georgia. I shit you not, there are thousands of people, tens of, how many people attend this thing? Tens of thousands? 5,000? Okay, less than I thought. 5,000 people. 1,500 are in Ali's booth. And there's like a square, I don't know, probably like 150, 200 meters, maybe more in either direction of a square of cars, Lamborghinis, McLarens. No one gives a fuck. All they care about is Ali's giving away $100. And they all stand in line out there. And I'm like, what is going on over here? And it's just them getting a chance to answer a question from Ali, spin a wheel, and hope they get $100. They usually end up with a t-shirt. And Ali, how much do you give away every time?
So I calculated my spend. We spent like $30,000 on hats last time, but that's going to last us for the whole year. But on average, I'll spend about $5,000 per event. That's per month. And even though we're not necessarily looking for clients right then and there, we're averaging 2 to 3 clients per event. But then the value of every single person wearing a CEO lawyer hat, plus all the back-end content from that event, is so powerful. And no one's going after that market, the car market. So
I agree. It's a genius play. So what I would do is I would take that same play, run it on social media. I'd ask people questions. I make them comment. I'd give $100 to one of the people who gets the correct answer. Every 3 days. If you do this every 3 days, it's only going to cost you $1,000 a month. I will have everyone in my city by the end of the year commenting on my shit because they know every 3 days Eddie's giving away $100. You guys in this room, $100 might not mean anything to you. You might actually spend it in a drive-through. Most people, $100 could be the difference between them paying their electric bill and not paying their electric bill. You have to understand that, okay? And giving away $100 every 3 days keeps people just checking your profile. It's not even like they're just going to get on Instagram. They're going to be like, dude, oh shit, it's Wednesday. Ali, what's he post today? Did he post yet? I need to get this $100, okay? We're on the same page? That's only going to cost me $1,000 a month to do that, okay? I'm going to get everyone in my city to do it. Then, there's 2 ways to spin this. but this is what I would do. Again, I'm the ads guy, but I'm also just the where can I spend money and get the most return guy. That's really what I am, okay? And what I would do is I would find the most popular sports team that there is in your city. So in Atlanta, we have none, unfortunately. I'm just kidding. Probably soccer. Soccer's a pretty big one. Basketball's a pretty big one. I would get one with high frequency, okay? Baseball is great, high frequency. Basketball's great. They play 80 games a year, high frequency. Football, atrocious. I'm only going to get to do this once a week. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm either going to get season tickets or I'm going to buy tickets every single week or every single game for $100. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give away 4 tickets to every game. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a giveaway on my Instagram. Let's assume the ticket's $100 because I'm not going to buy like floor seats here. $100 times 4, $400, okay, times 5 times a month on the high end. We're talking $2,000 a month, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to give them 4 at a time, and I'm going to require people to tag the 3 people they want to take with them, okay? And then share it on their story. And I promise you, I will take over the entire marketplace because everyone knows Eddie is giving away Hawks tickets every single home game. Every single home game, I can go to Eddie's profile. I can tag my 3 friends. So if I have 400 people tagging, I have, in essence, another 1,200 people on top of it that are being tagged that are also re-engaging in this profile. How many cases do I need to cover $2,000 a month? One. What? Over the course of the year, 24 grand a year. How many cases do I need from this giveaway? 2? 2, right? 2, 3, like average cases, 2, 3, and I'm covering the spread. 2, 3 over the course of a year. But 5 times a month, I am the most viral giveaway in the state because everyone's getting tickets to the hottest sports team that we have, okay? So far, I have $2,500 a month on ads on my organic. I have $3K, so $5,500, $6,500 with the post questions, and then $8,500 a month. At 100 grand a year, in my opinion, I'm rolling in cases at this point, okay? Everyone's sharing all my stuff always. That is the name of the game, guys. It's just how much attention, how many times can I get people to see CEO Lawyer over and over again in every way possible? Tagged on posts, on people's stories, from an ad that's running, everything possible. I'm trying to mix it all as much as possible. And don't forget, the coolest part of all this is all the people that engage with these posts, all the people that engage with these sports ticket giveaways, they're all getting retargeted. So I'm building this massive audience of retargeting, of people who are engaging my stuff, now seeing all my hottest content immediately after, prompting them all to DM me injured if they've been injured in a car accident, okay? I am bound to get dozens of cases at 100 grand a year. I will cover that 100 grand on a monthly basis guaranteed by like month 2 or 3 doing this, okay? We on the same page still? Yes, sir. Great. So that's phase 1. Phase 2 is these quizzes. Let me show you guys some data. This is Ali in March. And who's familiar with like the iOS update that like shot everything down for marketing? Okay, cool, no one. Great. So basically May, at this point, 2 years ago, iOS released the privacy update that, we're going to protect you. They did all those commercials of like people disappearing and we're not going to track you anymore, all this stuff. Ironically, Apple's still tracking you. It's just they're not letting other people track you. But it was a really clever campaign by them. They kind of made everyone think that they need to turn off their tracking. And what it did was it destroyed marketing for like a good year and a half. Like I know people who had very successful marketing companies underground in like 2-3 months. People who had successful e-commerce businesses doing tens of millions a year underground in 2-3 months because the data wasn't there anymore. So whatever you're looking at on the screen is actually not fully reporting all the data properly because iOS blocks a lot of those cookies from coming back. So when I show you here that, I'll show you all the quizzes. You can see here on the quizzes, 20, this is all in March, 22K spent on this one, $36 a lead. This is someone who's told us if they've been in an accident, how many people were in them in the accident, how bad were their injuries, how bad was the damage to the car, how recent was the accident, and then giving us name, email, phone number. Okay, 30, 40 bucks. We spent here 8K, another 22, so 30K, another 30K here, 60K, 73K all in, all on this quiz, okay? This is where most of our ad spend is going because that's the things that actually generate cases. Now you have to understand when you're running ads on social media, you're not gonna get this ideal dollar in, dollar out scenario that all of you guys want. You're gonna overpay a little bit per case, but what you're not gonna get anywhere else is this. From ads alone, besides all these organic, we have 11.2 million total impressions in the metro Atlanta area in March, okay? I don't know where else you can get that for this price and get cases at the same time from that and be able to track it and be able to retarget people. I might be able to run this on television, but I have no data of retargeting these people who watch this video, re-engaging with them, etc. Original accounts and humans, 2.3 million total reached. We reached 2.3 million. This is just from ads. All these organic is even more than that, right? So just from ads, I've created a pool of 2.3 million people that I can retarget, plus everyone that's engaging with all these stuff. We on the same page? Yes? Cool. So basically, I'm funneling all these people into this one retargeting audience, and then everything on my ads that I'm spending besides the engagement stuff, so that's phase one, we're past phase one. I spent 8.5K a month to build up my organic. I'm retargeting people, all the stuff that I taught you. I'll show you how to make the audience. Now phase two is just direct to conversion quizzes. So I'm gonna run ads to these quizzes. It's very simple. You hold up a check, you hold up anything visible. I like the huge big checks, they always work the best. Hey, you know, if you've been involved in a car accident, you're probably getting underpaid by the insurance company. Take this 30-second quiz and figure out what you should be getting paid just to make sure you're not missing out on any money. That's all it is, direct to conversion. And what's happening is you're targeting all these people who have seen you multiple times. They've seen different pieces of content that you've created organically. They've seen different ads that are organic pieces of content that you've ran to them. And you're just creating a big retargeting buyer pool. So like, they're not only gonna see you and be like, oh, I should check this out, but they're also like, I've seen this guy like 6 or 7 times. I kind of trust him at this point. Let me fill out this form and see what I can do. Or, oh, my mom was in an accident. You know, let me just see if I type in what she did, like what I could get her. And then you start noticing people start doing it for other people, and it creates a really cool effect. So phase two would be running ads all to this quiz. I'll show you this quiz in a bit, since some of you guys weren't here last time. Something cool, and again, you guys are lawyers, so like don't hold me to this. Figure out what's legally possible, because every state has different bar rules, etc. But if you can find a way to run an offer with whatever it is that you're doing, bankruptcy attorney, there's someone in here who does like tax, they basically remove like overdue tax bills, or like, I mean, it's crazy. Like I've seen them remove like a 100K tax bill from someone that's been overdue and reduce it to 10K, for example. So you can do different guarantees. So for example, I consult an accounting company that does bookkeeping and online accounting. They're an 8-figure company. Stuck in marketing. All their stuff comes from referrals. They can't generate any leads. I came in literally week 1. I was like, cool, what's the best thing we can offer? I started thinking about it, and we basically came up with, hey, if we audit their stuff, if we audit all their books, and they make X amount of money, let's say 500K a year or more in net, then we for sure can get them $10,000 off their tax bill compared to whoever is doing what. And if not, we'll pay the difference just to get that customer. I don't even care. I'll pay $4,000 if I can only get them 6 to get that customer for the next few years, right? So we basically ran an offer saying, I'll give you $10,000 if I can't find $10,000 in your business right now that I could save you on taxes. If I can't do that, I'll pay you the difference. So we're only taking people who are doing 500K or more net. And their ROI on dollar ad spend is like 25x right now. And we're spending like $1,000 a day because the offer is so good. So if you guys can figure out a way in whatever pool of law that you're practicing that you can create some sort of offer that would be irresistible to people, this is a cheat code. You can skip everything I've taught you up to this point. You can run that ad tomorrow and you can just print money, okay? But obviously you guys are lawyers. There's bar rules that you have to follow. PI, it's probably a little bit harder to do something. Maybe even do like, you know, what we guarantee a minimum $25,000 settlement or $15,000 settlement guaranteed, or we'll pay you the difference. Example, how many people are you going to pay, if this is legally possible, but how many people are you going to pay the difference to compared to how many clients you're going to get across the board? You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to get some clients that I got them $12,000, I have to pay them a $3K difference. What is that compared to how many leads I'm getting from people who I'm guaranteeing a $15,000 settlement minimum. So there's a lot of ways you can restructure this, but that's something I highly, highly recommend. Overall, I'll tell you guys this. We spend money on YouTube. We spend millions on YouTube every week. We spend millions on Google. We spend millions on Facebook. We spend millions on TikTok. Can anyone guess where the highest ROI is? This side of the room? YouTube? Okay, cool. You're actually all wrong. It's actually still, not all of you, two, you're right. It's Facebook and Instagram. TikTok actually has the lowest ROI across every industry. I'm talking services, consulting, professionals, e-commerce, courses. We sell all 5 of these categories. Every single one. TikTok's the lowest performing. YouTube's the second best performing, and Facebook and Instagram are the number 1 most performing platforms. So,
Can you do that order again, please?
yeah, so Facebook and Instagram is the top. I wouldn't spend money elsewhere until you've figured out how to spend money there. Then YouTube would be the second, and then TikTok would be the third. TikTok's just lower intent, so they'll trick you. It's like, oh, I'm getting people filling out my quiz for $10, but they're all tire kickers. So like, yeah.
Can you advertise on TikTok? I heard that TikTok isn't letting legal advertising on. You have to register as an insurance company.
Certain legal companies, not legal companies, legal industries, I guess, are frowned upon. The closer you are to medical stuff, the harder it is sometimes. But overall, no, that's not true. A lot of attorneys are advertising on TikTok right now. But again, the ROI is the lowest of the 3 platforms. So unless you're primarily just focused on reach, it's going to be a lot harder to get to the KPIs that you want, cost per case or cost per qualified lead. It's just going to be a lot harder to get there than it is on Facebook or Instagram right now.
Yeah, all I use TikTok for is just whenever I have a viral video, I run that as an ad to Metro Atlanta 18 to 45 age, just for the purpose of getting more followers. Because those people are likely to end up hiring me at some point. So I only spend money on followers in Atlanta because I want to dominate that market. And so I know there's at least 1 million TikTok users in Atlanta. I want as many of those as possible. And if I can get my cost per new follower in Atlanta in the 18 to 45 range under 25 cents, then I can blanket the entire city with less than 6 figures. And so that's how we do it. So when you see like spikes in our follower count on TikTok, it's because we have a video that goes viral and then I immediately run it as an ad until my cost per new follower becomes too high. And then I just keep creating new content to do that. So I don't run ads on TikTok to get new cases. I only get them to get new followers and then encourage those people to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
And even then, on my screen, Instagram and Facebook ads, 25 to 30K of this goes towards just people engaging and following Ali. It's not towards conversions, it's not towards quizzes, it's just Ali's like, I want everyone in Georgia to follow me and know who I am.
And I want to clarify, because these numbers might seem scary when you're like, well, I can't spend 100 grand just on Facebook. I really do care about the number of impressions. So we have 11 million impressions just for the month of March. It also happened to be the highest number of cases that we signed and retained. But my conversion rates on these quizzes are low. They're usually 5 or 6%. Now, I am getting $40, $30 per lead, so my cost per case can go down to $800, but that's just on the lead gen side. The branding side, so Ed, if you can kind of show people the 1 cent cost per result right there at the very top. So I spent $10,000 just on that one campaign in March just for impressions. Not to try to get clients, just so people can see my face and get used to it and encourage them to follow my page. So I'm just playing this long game, and tomorrow I'm going to talk about kind of the fulfillment and the back end to keep these people in your pipeline. But for the sales part, to get clients in the door, 100% our money is on Facebook, Instagram.
What are the most effective viral videos to be able to run that work on TikTok to be able to get followers?
It's a very broad question. So what I would do to save you time is I would go find every lawyer, like CO lawyer, Law by Mike, everyone that's like big on social media, and just look at their top performing videos, and that'll give you the answer. I can't sit here and give you a list of like, here's the exact 5 things that you should make videos on, but if you go to these people and you look at it, you'll see them, and a lot of them is like, if you want to just think the most common practical things that would apply to people. So like getting pulled over, like what do you do when you get pulled over? You know what I mean? If police knocks on your door and asks to search, what do you say? I know Ali's brother, Ibrahim, is he still in the room or did he leave? Ibrahim, one of his top performing videos I still remember was like, if a cop knocks on your door, what can you do? You know what I mean? And you did the same video, right?
Yeah, I did the same. I did it in the reverse. So he got like 50,000 views. I redid the same video in 13 seconds and got 5 million views. So in short, I would say on TikTok, the things that are going to get you the most engagement are criminal defense advice, always outperforms. PI works if you start with a car crash video and then do a reaction at the end. One of my mentees, Top Dog Law, also does a lot of those. So he'll have a crazy car crash video and then just a reaction at the end. And anything dealing with the police.
Okay, last thing about that. I can do those videos all day long. That is actually my area, is criminal defense and PI. Mostly criminal defense. I do a lot of federal stuff, a lot of big bad murder and scary shit all the time, okay? But my question is, what's the most organic, or what's the best way for me to do that? Do I leverage personality and display that on screen? Kind of like what Ali was talking about, you have to make everything bigger, grander, more animated when you're doing that? Or do I do it in a sort of low-key way? Which one of those two ways work the best? Or is it just what is most equals your personality?
Yeah, I guess if I told you, hey, do it low key and I'll pay you $100 a video, or I told you be super animated and I'll pay you $30,000 a video, which one would you go for? Okay, and that's what you're gonna get. So if you're looking at the CPMs that we were talking about, doing the math here, let me just show you all these CPMs, okay? Now we're going super broad, so just understand CPMs are going to be lower than they would normally be if I wanted to target like a very specified audience, but just to give you a perspective, $10 CPM, but you see the retargeting audiences, 23, these are higher quality audiences, the quizzes, 18, 16, let's just take 15 as a baseline, okay? If you get 100,000 views, that's worth what? 15 times 100, $1,500 for every 100,000 views at the bare minimum. That's assuming one platform. If you're posting that same video on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, you'll probably have 300,000 views between all of them. That's a $5,000 video for you being more animated as opposed to you making a video with 300 views. Absolute waste of your time, dude. You know what I mean?
That's really helpful for me because I'm animated anyway. I'm extra anyway. So I just needed to know. And Anne's laughing because she knows that. You know what I mean? I'm extra anyway. So it helps me to be able to do that. But I didn't know if that translated best to platform. So I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Brady, because I know you, I would say you're probably going to be the only black cowboy lawyer on social media.
Probably.
So every single one of your videos should have a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And I promise you, if you do 100 videos and then analyze, you would have solved all of your questions. You just have to do it. I think it's going to work on its own. You have the personality. You don't have to be someone else.
Right.
And Eddie gave a really good example. A lot of people that you see online don't even have good personalities.
Okay.
And they're not even practicing attorneys. They don't really know what they're talking about. So don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what you do have, which is a lot. So yeah, I'd probably brand it as a black cowboy lawyer, and I'd go all in.
Well, I got two looks. I got either super custom in suits, or I got cowboy.
Just do me a favor, wear the cowboy hat in every one of your videos for the next 100 videos, and then come talk.
100%.
I'll do it.
Whether you're in a suit or not, you wear that hat. Yeah, no, really. That's how you should be identified. And dude, look, this might be extreme, and I don't know if you want to do this or not, but I would. I mean, Ali posted a video yesterday. I thought it was one of his best videos I've ever seen. And it's not because it's not gonna go viral or anything. That just from a piece of information of advice. He was wearing a CEO lawyer gear. He was talking to two guys. He's like, I own an 8-figure business, and I'm wearing CEO lawyer on my head and on my chest. You guys own 7-figure businesses, and I don't even know what the fuck you do. Okay? If you wear that cowboy hat, where do you live?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. If you wear that, have we been on a call together?
Yeah, I've talked to you personally before. I talked to you 2 years ago during COVID.
I remember now. I remember.
Yeah.
So if you walk around with this cowboy hat to every sports game you go to, when you go out, when you do all these things, I promise you will get more cases. I promise you.
I promise you I can wear the boots every day. I don't know about the cowboy every day, but I'll wear boots every day. The boots go every single day. I got the boxes of them.
I'm with you, but boots are hard to see. Cowboy hats, I'm telling you right now, over time, I promise you will get people coming up to you just giving you cases because of the cowboy hat. I've seen you online. Aren't you that lawyer? Let me take a photo.
I can do it. I mean, that's me anyways. I mean,
Bro, I'd
I'm
give your
doing
clients a
everything.
cowboy hat when you take a picture with a big ass check at the
That's
end of it.
amazing, actually. That's amazing.
That is a good idea. I mean, I give lawyers boots anyway when they send me money. You know, I haven't given Ann any. She's giving me checks, but I need to give her some boots. But I give lawyers boots when they send me money on cases that I've sent to them. You know what I mean? That's what I gift them. So I'll add the cowboy hat.
You should do a hat instead of boots.
What's that?
You should do a hat instead of boots because everyone can see the hat.
I'll
And it just stands out. All they need to do is just upload one photo of a hat, and it's worth the ROI for you. But yeah, if that's your thing, dude, go deep on that thing. And don't sit here focusing what everyone else is doing. Add your own cowboy twist to whatever everyone else is doing.
I mean, he knows my truck has a longhorn on the front, so yeah. It's really
That's amazing, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. There was another question. Was it you?
Yeah, we're doing surveys successfully on Facebook, just like that. YouTube, I mean, how does that, I've been really trying hard with YouTube. Just recently it's starting to turn up a little bit, but what's been your experience with taking the surveys, getting them into the YouTube videos, you're running that, to the survey? What's your experience? Is that what you're talking about doing, or do you?
Yeah, that's like our next step in this process for us. Just because like even Facebook took us a few months to even get to where we need to. We just started these surveys. When did I present to you guys last October? We just started these in September. So it's been basically like 6 months since we even started this survey, and I like to figure out one platform before I go to a second. In regards to YouTube, I would be targeting just intent audiences. I don't know if have you been to my last talks?
Joel Kaplan's thing.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
That's where it
dude,
started.
your son. Yeah.
Oh, what's up, bro? Cool. Well, thanks for coming to Ali's event. So I would run it on YouTube. If I do it on YouTube, I would only do custom intent audiences. So people who have searched keywords on Google for personal injury, for a car accident, whatever it is, I would bulk them onto one big audience. And basically, for those of you that don't know, you can create on YouTube, you can create a custom intent audience based on Google search for the last 21 days. So I can create just a giant pool of people who have searched for a car accident attorney. I've been in a car accident. What do I do? Every keyword possible around car accidents, you can put them into one pool and just run traffic to those people only. That's all I would do at a low budget. YouTube's a little bit harder to get quiz submissions and things like that because the intent is different. So like on social media, it's like fast intent. It's like I'm scrolling, I'm clicking, boom, 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 next. You know what I mean? On YouTube, it's like I'm going there to watch a 10-minute video that I've committed to already. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit harder to pull them off to take a quiz about the car accident. So you'd want to make videos more intense compared to social media. So on social media, for example, I could be direct. I could say, hey, you're probably not getting the money that you're supposed to be getting for your car accident. Take this quiz, 30 seconds, blah, 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 done. On YouTube, I would have to be like, listen, if you've been in a car accident, you're missing out on tens of thousands of dollars. Here's insurance companies, they're evil. Here's how they think. Here's what's happening with you right now. If you've accepted a claim, make sure you don't. If you're working with an attorney, you need to get a third-party attorney to also look at it. You need to build like fear up into them so that it's enough for them to leave their 10-minute video to take the 60-second quiz. It's more of an ask. You get what I'm saying? So you just have to position it differently. I wouldn't go that hard on like the fear part on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, just because it's so quick. I don't even have time for that. I'm just trying to get them to understand that they can make money and that's all these people need. On YouTube, it's a little bit different. So on YouTube, like for anyone that I run ads for, when I run a 30-second ad, it does not do as well as like a 2-minute ad, where I'm like sitting there like drilling in my point, building that fear, telling them I'm going to give them something at the end and just like holding their attention as long as possible. That's the approach I would take, but that would be like phase 2. We would need to shoot like whole new creatives and spin it all. I've done it on YouTube short ads, and it didn't work that well, so we just went back to Facebook and Instagram. Does that help? Great question. All right, let's see. Yep.
Is there any way to access this dashboard from your phone?
Yes. So you can download a Facebook Business Manager app, and it won't look like this. It'll be more mobile friendly. But basically, each of these campaigns will be its own bubble on your phone, and you can scroll through and you can click on each campaign, and it'll tell you all the data points. Like, depending on the campaign, this one's post engagement. It'll tell me that. This one's cost per lead. It'll tell me that. Yep.
Are you running ads on Facebook? They're new, I think they just released the ads on the videos that you're watching on Facebook, and they're running ads in there.
Yeah, that's a new placement. I'll tell you most of the time, like on video placements, you're talking about the little ones at the bottom, right?
I'm talking about those as well as, no, they're interrupting the video.
On the longer
On
videos.
the longer videos, yeah.
Yeah, pre-roll. I'll tell you, like in my experience so far on Facebook, the ones that are on video and the ones that are in video have not been performing well for us. That being said, it's still new. I test everything, so I wouldn't like abandon that strategy. Here's my like theory. Whenever Facebook and Instagram roll something out, I just want to be like first to market to it, so I can figure out what's working, what's not. Once I understand it, if it's not working, I'll move off it. And then once they've developed a little bit more and it works, I know exactly what to do. I can get in there in 1 second and I'm back playing that game. You know what I mean? So like even like broadcast channels on Instagram, I don't know if you guys have seen those. Like I jumped on that right away. I sent a message, blah, blah, blah. And then like I started observing and realized this isn't going to be a thing that they're probably going to keep around or is going to be super beneficial to me. I didn't apply any effort towards it. I moved off it. I know, dude. I know. But I started watching other people's and I'm like, you know, there's better ways for me to communicate. I'd rather like have people subscribe to my email list and send them an email. That's much more valuable for me than like a broadcast channel on Instagram. Cool. Let's see. Who here does active email and SMS marketing to their list? Yeah? 2? How many emails do you guys send a week or a month?
15,000.
You have a list of 15,000.
Correct.
How frequent are you sending an email?
Once a month.
Once a month. And you? 4 times a month?
4 months, yeah.
Okay, nice. What kind of ROI do you see? Do you see cases coming in from that?
We see like close to like 65 to 70% opening, and then we'll get maybe 2 or 3 cases or 2 or 3 calls a month out of that, and then I'd have to dive in to see our conversion rate deeper than that.
Okay, cool. So I'll tell you, my next step after spending all this money and doing all this stuff would be to basically build an email list and SMS list for my law firm. Email and SMS is still the highest ROI out of any platform in the world online by like a long mile, okay? If you guys aren't seeing a lot of cases coming from a 15,000 person list, etc., you're just not doing the right thing. You're either sending them like a monthly newsletter that's like super boring and dry and no one wants to read it, or you're probably just doing that. So basically what I would do is I would switch it up. I would either hire a full-time copywriter to do your emails in your brand voice. What I've done is I created on ChatGPT, I created an Eddie Malouf bot. So we have like 20 company accounts at this point, so they have a more thorough Eddie Malouf bot than I do. This is just for me when I'm lazy and I want it to write for me. But I basically uploaded like how I talk into this thing. Here's like, I've taken excerpts from like letters I've written, from Instagram captions I've done, from videos I've done, everything. I've just uploaded into here. And I basically said like, anytime I talk to you, your name is Eddie Malouf, you have a child, she was born on this date, your wife is born on this date, you have this company. I went through my entire profile, taught it who I am. Here's how you talk. I gave it hundreds of examples. And this thing writes everything for me. So basically, instead of writing it as your law firm or whatever, maybe start writing it as the attorney and being very thoughtful with how you're doing it. So for example, I put a couple examples here yesterday. Let's see. I'd basically hire a full-time content curator / list manager, and they put out fresh local content as well. So for example, like satire around sports teams is a great section that I could just have in my email every week. Update on your Atlanta sport, like besides what I'm writing, here's an update on your Atlanta sports teams. You know, Braves, we still suck. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. And you just give a quick excerpt on that, for example. And what I do in my main body is I basically storytell. So Ali, for example, I can't count how many videos he's done over the past years where he's telling a story. One time my karate teacher did this, blah, 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 and there's like a really good lesson in it. That's the kind of content I would be sending out as an attorney, okay? I'd be sending out like cool legal tips, sure, but like stuff like that where people are reading, they're engaging, but it goes past the open on the email or past I'm getting a case right now. This is the best way to build a community that's obsessed with CEO lawyer. And if you have 15,000 people on that list, and by the end of the year, You can get 5,000 of them to become obsessed with you. If each of them generates one referral over the next year, you have 5,000 cases, just one. If they refer a quarter of a referral, you have 1,250 cases just from that. You know what I mean? The email list is so powerful. I'll tell you, we spend in my agency for ourselves, we spend $60K a month in ad spend on our business. And we have an email list of, 20,000 people. That email list makes us more money than the $60,000 of ad spend, just from sending 2 emails a week. And my team writes none of it. They go to Eddie Maloufbot. They say, hey, Eddie, tell us an awesome story about XYZ. Give us a couple like real life world examples. It'll pump out an email. They'll look at it. They'll ask you to change a couple things. I need you to be a little bit more witty, clever, be less sexual in this email, whatever. Boom, done. Email's good. They tweak a couple things and they send it out as me. My own team, their family follows our email list and they think I'm sending them emails when like their own children are writing the emails. It's funny. One girl was like, my dad came by and he was like, man, your boss is so smart. The stuff that he puts in my inbox is absolutely out of this world. And she's like, Dad, I write all of those emails. And it's cool because that's the attachment that it builds. But if I was just sending some lame newsletter, with all due respect to you guys, like if I'm just sending a lame newsletter, no one's gonna connect with me like that. No one's gonna be attached to me like that. No one's gonna buy my stuff like that. But if I'm telling stories about things that are educational in my life that happen, hey, today I was driving and boom, I saw this thing happen, XYZ, whatever. And what you can do, which is when you start getting clever with your email list, you have 15,000 people on your list. If you do what I was showing earlier, hey, we're doing a Atlanta Hawks ticket giveaway today. You send that in an email and you say, hey, we're giving away 4 tickets to the Hawks game. Click on this button and go comment who you want to bring with you and see if you're selected. Dude, right out the gate. Like I had a friend who had an agency owners conference. It's in 2 days. And I was like, hey, I want to support you, but I can't go. I'll buy 2 tickets and I'll just like give them away. So I went, I wrote an email. I have like 800 people on my email list that are agency owners. I wrote an email to them, hey, I'm giving away these 2 tickets. I can't go. I bought them, but I can't go anymore, blah, blah, blah. I made up a story. Go. All these people went to my Instagram and commented on the post. What he told me yesterday was $15,000 of tickets, $2,500 a ticket, so 6 tickets, got sold because I sent the email and just like mentioned his event in like 2-word hyperlink because I told the entire story before I got there. And so if that's the approach that you guys start taking your email list, I promise you, you will get so much more money out of all these things you're doing. Like, and this is something that, I'm going to be pushing this year with Ali, but like, take an example, besides all the DMs he gets, besides all the leads we get on the website, just these quizzes, last month, 164, 600, 630, 300, let's call it like 1,800, $2,000 extra contacts that I have on my list. Besides the people he's getting from all the local events he's doing, from all the ads we're running elsewhere, from all the DMs he's getting, he's building this massive list. If we're messaging these people twice a week, giving them really cool story, valuable content, get out of your lawyer bubble for a bit and just think like, what would be like fun to read and interesting and things that people could take away and they would forward this email to their friends because, hey, this was a really cool story or a really cool lesson from this thing. That's what I would be thinking about, and I promise you guys it's worth 30 minutes a month to sit down with your team and like brainstorm like 4 to 8 concepts on this and then letting them write the whole thing through ChatGPT. You will get so many cases from your email list, especially if you're up to 15,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a question about the email. What are your thoughts with respect to either embedding video or a link to your YouTube or Vimeo?
I always link.
Okay, and is that because it's not getting opened if it's embedded? It's going to spam?
No, yeah, I mean, that's definitely part of it. The more you put in the email, the more links and embeds and things like that, the more likely you are to go to promotions or spam, especially with Gmail. But not even that, I want to build on-platform visibility. So like, for example, I shot an AI YouTube video. I sent an email saying, hey, I shot this video on AI for my team, recorded it, I put it on YouTube. Instead of embedding it there, I want them to leave the email and go watch on YouTube because then they could watch another video. They could just go down the list of other videos. That video alone, it doesn't have like tons of views, let's say 3,000 views, but it's a 45-minute video. That video, I think, last I checked, had like 860 hours watched on the video itself. Like 860 hours of consumption of my video from that one. How many of those people clicked off and watched other videos too? Another 20-minute video, another 10-minute video. So that's why I want them to go to that platform, because then they just start shopping and binging my stuff. They watch a podcast, they watch this, and then they're in my world. If you even see my Instagram, the hottest it's ever been from a growth standpoint, etc. And my link in bio is not my company. It's not anything. It's my YouTube. Because I just want them to go and like, I heard someone say this, someone who's practically a billionaire from like online world and content and things like that. He said, they date you through social media, they marry you on YouTube. And that stuck with me. And so ever since, I've like been just pushing people to my YouTube so that they can just binge and keep going down that rabbit hole. Because they're gonna remember me. And this is a conversation I was having with my brother. His name is Arab on all platforms. He literally owns like the keyword for an entire race. It's pretty cool. So he gets like 6, 20, 30 million views a video because he does crazy stuff. He goes to like the most dangerous spot in Africa and like tries to survive and stuff like that. So he gets really viral. But on his YouTube, he gets a lot of viewership, and a metric he never even thought about until yesterday. We were talking. I was like, he's like, dude, I got 60,000 views on this video on the first day. I was like, cool, but like, how many hours watched? He's like, who cares? I'm like, what do you mean, who cares? Like, that's all I care about. Like, I don't care how many views or how many likes. How many hours consumed do I have? And he opened it up, and he's like, last month, 8,600 days worth of consumption. And then we started calculating, we're like, how many Netflix movies is that? And then we went down the list, and it was like hundreds of thousands of Netflix movies. Imagine hundreds of thousands of people watch an hour-and-a-half movie about you. That is the equivalent of what that is. So that's how I measure my attention. And so every time I send emails, every time I do this, I'm pushing them off platform onto another platform if I have a lot of videos on there, because I'll just let them binge. If someone's ever been to my YouTube, they're going to binge. If someone's ever been to my Instagram and that video hit, they're just going to keep going. They're going to keep going. And I see it. I'll send an email promoting like a cool Instagram video, and I'll check my notifications. It'll be the same like 50 people liking like 15, 20 videos down the line. And I just consumed 15, 20 minutes of their life on my face. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the goal. I hope that helps, but that's what I would do.
Fortunately, that's what we've been doing, but I wasn't sure that was the thing to do, because I grew up with the idea that, hey, if you got their attention, keep them. Don't send them somewhere else by giving them a link. But that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'll send them somewhere else if it leads to them just binging me more. If it's just the end, I'd rather just put it on the page. Does that make sense? Cool. Great question. Cool.
A recommendation, Eddie, on the send us an email campaign? What do you recommend software for that?
I mean, everything's available. MailChimp's the easiest. If you were to like use a super basic one, like my dad's like, I don't know, 70 at this point, and he uses MailChimp every day, and it's super easy for him, and he's not technologically savvy. Actually, my dad, I'll show you this just to I guess make everyone here feel bad, because it makes me feel bad every day. You guys should be posting more content. So this is my dad. He's a 70-year-old. You guys will get a kick out of this. He's a 70-year-old, and he's just posting the lamest and worst videos I've ever seen on TikTok. And he's getting millions of views, millions on every video. I don't know why it's not loading, but if you guys ever want to check it out, it's called Tiny Town. And he just takes videos of like, it's an indoor driving center where like kids learn how to drive. This is just a lot of work. Where kids learn how to drive, and he's getting 2, 3, 4 million views a video. I shit you not, guys. He every week is a record week in his company. People are driving, just so you understand, people are driving from like Arkansas to come to Tiny Town because they saw these YouTube videos. Look at this, 2.8 million. Like if I go down the list, there's so many ones that are just like millions or 800,000, all this stuff, and he's just posting. I promise you watch this, you're like, this content's atrocious. But just the fact that he's posting more than most of you guys in this room, okay? And you guys have online businesses where people can just apply, you can transact over a phone. He's getting people to drive across 4 or 5 state borders with their children in a minivan to come show up to this place. That's the level of intent that he's getting out of it. So I figured it's just a kind of a funny story, because I'm like, dude, I put so much effort in my content, and my dad's just like shitting on me. You know what I mean? Like I have to like book an appointment to like get consultations from him at this point. So Dude, not even that often. I'd say like at this point he posts like 3 times a week. But he's just posting like look at this video, dude. 3 million views.
Violations in county town. Another driver caught by TT.
You get it. This is it. 3 million views. People driving their kids across state borders just to do it. So if that's not a testament to like just post content, I don't know what is at this point. So last thing, I promised you guys I'd show you this retargeting audience, and then I'll just leave it open Q&A if you guys have any questions about your business specifically. But I'll show you how to do it, and then you guys can kind of mimic it. But if you're in your ads manager, there's an area here called audiences. It's very easy. You just click the menu, go to audiences. I'm going to show you exactly how to pull all those people that are viewing those videos and make the audience. Because then what you can do is you can just boost it from your phone if you make the audience on your computer. So if you get a post that's killing it, you can just boost it to retarget to those people. So I'll create an audience. I'll create a custom. So there's a lot of options here you can do. You can target people who have visited your website, people if you upload a customer list. But here's what I like to do. So there's different ones. There's video. So people who have watched a certain video, people who have engaged with your Instagram account, or people who have engaged with your Facebook page. So basically what I'll do, I'll give you video as an example. I'll go in there. People who viewed at least 10 seconds. I'll choose videos. And I can choose videos from my Facebook page. Oh, this is not. I can choose videos from my Facebook page, just an example here, right? I can choose videos from my Instagram. Example. And then I can choose ones that are specifically running as ads. So campaigns. Oh, great. Huh? You can do this on YouTube, but not through Facebook. Yeah, they're their own platform. Boom. So basically what I do is I'll go and I'll take all the videos that I'm running. I'll pick them all and I'll confirm. Just an example. Okay? And then I'll do it over the last 60 days. You can do 90. You can do up to 365. I'll create that. So now I have an audience of people who have engaged with these videos. Then I'll create another audience of people who engage with my Instagram account. Everyone who engaged with your professional account. What I'll do is I'll hit this drop down and I'll go down to anyone who engaged with any post or ad. I'll do it the last 60 days. And I'll just do like L60. So now this, in these 5 seconds that we just did it, I've created an audience where anyone that's engaged with any of the ads I'm running through my Instagram, any of the posts that I'm posting on my Instagram, are all in this pool of audience. So now I have an audience for that. And I can do the same thing for Facebook. And so what I can do is I can, next time I go run an ad, I can just put all those audiences in there and just say only target these people, and then draw a radius in Atlanta and say only if they're in Atlanta. And so now even if I have following from all over the US, all over the world, it doesn't matter. I'm only targeting people who have engaged with me, who also are within the radius that I want to target and I want to effectively market to. And now I have one audience with all those people. Every time I want from my phone, if I notice a video is popping off, I'll give it a couple days, I'll wait for it to settle, and I'll boost that video to this new audience that I made. And like I said, I'd run it at $50 a day over 10 days and let it run. And then after that, I'd just put like $3 to $5 a day on hundreds of videos eventually, and just let them keep running to these same people. Eventually, the same person is seeing me 30, 40 times a month, and I'm not annoying them because it's different pieces of content. It's stuff that I know is proven. I know it gets the most views organically, so I know it's going to get the most views if I run it directly to them. And all the call to actions on all of them would just be, hey, DM me the word injured if you have something to talk about, or DM me a case if you think you have a case, and I'll take a look at it, blah, blah, blah. And I'll just have a team of appointment setters whose only job is just my DMs all day long. And everything we're doing is funneling into the DMs or the quizzes. And that's obviously people are going to call me from my website, all this stuff. But if I can just funnel them there, I can literally just have VAs at $1,000 a month going in, vetting people, making sure they're qualified, passing them to my intake team to sign DocuSign and move from there. And that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Any questions? Anything I can help with specifically?
Yeah, so since the CEO Lawyer Summit in November, I've kind of gone all in with social media, and I've seen a direct benefit, and it's awesome. I'm super grateful for the experience. But it is also becoming a bit overwhelming, so the operational aspect of running your law firm and focusing on being a lawyer, and this has become, for me, overwhelming. How do you give someone access to do all of this stuff on social media? Because, you know, even on Ads Manager, I'm not sure how to share that. I mean, my account is a personal page, and I'm branding I am my brand, my law firm is me. But with that being said, I want to give that to somebody else to take hold of, so that I don't have to be the guy that's posting every single time and writing the content and doing what it takes to be doing it daily, which is what it's taking. How do you give someone that access without, I guess, giving them access to your, you know, to the full web? I do. I have somebody who's actually looking for the access, and I have no fucking clue how to give him the access, and I've set up a meeting from your own account, username and password, or can you give them?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Just
give them your username and
Yeah,
password.
look, you can use third-party tools and stuff, but if you're talking, I'm not talking about a team of setters that are managing DMs, that's different. You would just use like the Facebook business account, and you can add them onto a business account online, like a business manager, and then they can all have access to your DMs, and they can be messaging from there, okay? If it's just the messaging part, if it's the posting, all this other stuff, the safest way is to have them just log in on a device. Anytime you use other tools, a lot of times Instagram will flag it. Like I used to do it for my team in the Philippines and in Lebanon, and I'll get flagged, and I was like, too high of a risk, I'm over this, because like if I lose this account, it's too much lost. So I keep it local. My assistant has it. Ali has a much better system than I do because he's got a whole team. But for me, my assistant is on it. She knows every day what to post. At the beginning of the week, my team basically gives me all my tweets that they're posting, 6-7 tweets a day, all the videos that we're going to post this week, and then they used my Eddie Malouf bot to write a caption. Hey, if Eddie blah, blah. Now, don't get me wrong, probably 3 times a week I post my own stuff. Yeah. I just enjoy it. Sure. It's like I'm building like a community, like a fan base of some sort, so it's a little bit personal to me. But like I said, all the emails, all the tweets, everything else like is all automated by other people. They just send me them for approval. I say, yes, this sounds enough like me, or I wouldn't say something like this. And it's off my plate in like 5 minutes.
So do you give them your direct username and password?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hey, does anyone else have this issue where they're trying to figure out how to give someone else access to their pages? Raise your hand just so I get an idea. Okay. Would it help if I just showed you how to do it on, like how I do it on my page, like live? All right. There might be some technical difficulties, but if I can use your computer, Eddie. Because what I did actually was I created a separate Facebook account, a personal Facebook account, for my team to use, so that they can log into the personal Facebook account and access my business manager that way. Does that make sense? Instead of giving them, and this is going to be a little messy because I don't even know my Facebook password.
Hey Eddie, while he's doing that, can you entertain another question?
Yep.
We have like probably through the years, different companies, like a half a dozen Instagram accounts. They all suck. Is there any way to either consolidate them into one, or should we delete 5 or 6 of them, or what do we do with the fact we're splintered all over?
You can message Facebook support and like combine pages. So that's probably the best bet. Give that a shot before you just get rid of them all. But for what it's worth, I see a lot of friends doing this strategy right now, but you can basically just post on all of them and just post different content. So like I have friends, I'm sure everyone knows who Andrew Tate is at this point. That's what Andrew Tate did, right? He basically just had a ton of accounts, hundreds, and basically he just creates content and other people cut them and they just post them on like 100 pages at once. And that's how he got so big, because the algorithm is treating each page separately, right? As long as it's not the same video at the same time, it's treating them all as separate pages. So this one will get 100,000 views, this one will get 50, this one will get 70, and he's combining for tens of millions a day in viewership. Supercar Blondie does the same thing, if you guys are familiar with her. She actually, I've seen her operations, she has 50 full-time video editors. That's how insane her operation is just for herself, 50. I was like, you guys read the wrong stat. It's a 5, it's not a 5-0, 50. 50 video editors, all for her. They have hundreds of channels, and they just take her content over the last 15 years, cut it, and just post it on like 200, 300 channels at once, all online, and you'll see one page will be like supercar blondie, one will be like blondie supercar, blonde supercar girl, like just hundreds of pages. It doesn't matter. She just wants her face plastered everywhere on the internet, and that's all she cares about. So you can use that same strategy with your 10, 15 pages, but you have to be creating enough content or have a backlog of content that's worth doing that. Otherwise, it's going to be a headache, and if you're already having a headache managing one profile, I would like limit yourself to one until you feel comfortable with what you're doing, then have the team just post on like 15. Because you can just use softwares and they can just post on 15 different softwares at the same time, or 15 different pages. Yeah.
So on that subject of having multiple pages, I know I've spoken to Ali about it, where we're bilingual. Do you suggest that we just create one page if, like, for instance, I target the Latino market, but I predominantly speak in English, but I can also come out with videos in Spanish too? Okay.
That's what Ali does. So Ali has 706 Abogado, and then he has CEO Lawyer. And all our Spanish ads run from 706 Abogado. So I was showing you guys the quizzes, like some of them were in English, that's coming from CEO Lawyer, some of them were in Spanish, all from 706 Abogado, because I want them to resonate with it. So they'll click on the page, and they'll see all his contacts in Spanish, all his bios in Spanish, DM me the word accidentado or whatever, you know what I mean? Everything's in Spanish. So I want to keep it that way. And Ali does a really good job of like filming content for both. It's exhausting, honestly. I don't know how he does it, so props to him. But that's what I would do. I wouldn't put it all on the same page. Because then it's like, English people don't fuck with you because you speak Spanish, and then Spanish people don't fuck with you because you speak English half the time. It's like you're kind of like right in the middle and you're not getting anything out of it. Any other questions? Yes.
So this is another language question. My firm focuses mostly on Brazilians and Spanish speakers. I myself don't speak Spanish or Portuguese, and the biggest issue that I've had is how do I connect as the firm owner with our ideal client? So I don't really know how to kind of bridge that gap. Right now, we do have a video editor who's shooting just different team members who speak in the native language, and we're posting that content. We have divided all of our social media channels into the language, but I still feel like it's a little bit disjointed because there's not like one face of the firm. It's all different people all the time. And how would you approach that?
I would say back to the first thing that I was talking about up here, using AI voices and AI like animation videos and accident videos and things like that. That's the approach I would take. So I would just have someone full-time whose job is like creating that content in those languages. They would take your voice, they basically upload it, have it be your voice, and create a ton of content, not showing your face, but like talking in those languages. So like, hey, if you know you were gonna be in a car accident, what's the top 3 things you do? Or hey, look at this car accident, and like narrating it. Oh, look at this car accident, this truck's driving. What do you think is gonna happen next? Or who do you think's at fault? Blah, blah, blah. I would just do all that stuff in Portuguese, Brazilian, whatever it is that you're doing. And I would just have someone full-time just like pumping out content like that. That's the advantage you have today versus having this conversation 6 months ago. 6 months ago, I'd be like, you know, you gotta have someone who's probably representing it, who is a better face, or bring on a partner who's in that category, et cetera. Like a good example is Ward Law Firm in Miami. They're huge. There's Greg and Hani. They're the couple that runs it. Hani speaks Spanish. Greg's like the whitest guy on earth. And when he speaks Spanish, it's like super funny. It's like so white, the way he talks in Spanish. But it's funny because like some Spanish people appreciate that and they think it's comical. But she gets all the cases, like through her ads. His ads don't do anything. So I would caution against like you trying to do that. I would either find someone else, or my best bet to make it the safest business possible is to just have AI voices and just run the content without having someone's face be on it. Eventually, I mean, they're already doing it, but eventually you build your own AI spokesperson who is the face of the company, who looks like the people that you want, and they're in all the videos. And it's kind of already at that point. Like I uploaded like a 45-minute presentation, and an AI person who looks like a real person presented the whole thing for 45 minutes. So like, you could take that route if you want to go super extreme. But I would start with the voice stuff, with just visual stuff moving forward, and I think that's probably the safest bet from a scale standpoint. I don't think it needs to be your face.
So you think it should just be like cartoons or like not a person, or should I have a person and then have the AI voice over it?
Again, ideally a person is it, but if I'm giving you a solution that doesn't involve people because you can't be the face, and if you give it to someone else, they become too valuable to your business. It's like Flo for Progressive. Like she went from getting paid like $40,000 a year to like, I think her last contract was like 8 figures a year for just to be on, because they became too dependent on her. But look at Geico. They don't pay that lizard $1. You know what I mean? So like that's a business I would rather have. So that's kind of the approach. That's why I'm taking that approach. If you want a person, you can use a person, but I would try to just like stay away.
What company are you talking about that's doing like the AI person?
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head. What is it? Synthesia, yeah, Synthesia. And Synthesia is cool because it has a plugin. I use it. I don't know how you guys can use it, but you can basically like right-click on any Google image, and it'll generate 6 other images that look similar but are copyright-free. So I'll take like an image of a car accident, right-click, generate more. It'll just give me 6 versions of that car accident. That's an AI, so it's copyright-free, and I can run it as an ad. All you, Ali.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Malouf.